Hi, my name is Rihanna Downey, and I'll be exploring the tragic and deeply impactful story of the Scottsboro Boys through a lens that encompasses justice, race, and storytelling. I'll delve into the depths of the case and its significance within the American history, drawing from various sources and film analysis. And today I'll uncover the complexities of this story and its relevance to the themes we've been discussing throughout the semester. So to start, I'm just going to go over a little bit of backstory about the case. So the Scottsboro Boys were nine African American male teenagers who were accused in Alabama on March 25th, 1931, of raping two white females. So the case goes like this. 2 dozen people were hoboing on a freight train traveling through Chattanooga and Memphis, Tennessee. The hobos were an equal mix of blacks and whites. A group of white teenage boys saw 18-year-old Haywood Patterson on the train and attempted to push him off, claiming that it was a white man's train. A group of whites then gathered rocks and attempted to force all the black teenagers from the train. Patterson and the other black teenagers were able to ward off the group. The humiliated white teenagers jumped off the train and ran to the nearby trainmaster and said that they were attacked by a group of black teenage boys. Shortly after, the police searched the train at Rock Point, Alabama, and arrested the black boys. 2 young white females were also taken to the jail, where they accused the African American boys of rape. The case was first heard in Scottsboro, Alabama, in 3 rush trials in which the defendants received poor legal representation. All boys but a 13-year-old boy named Roy Wright were convicted of rape and sentenced to death. This was a common sentencing in Alabama during this time for anyone who was accused of raping a white female, even though there was no medical evidence of a rape even taking place. The case was first returned to the lower court, and the judge allowed a change of venue, moving the trial to Decatur, Alabama. Judge Horton was appointed. During the retrials, one of the alleged victims admitted to fabricating the whole story and asserting that none of the Scottsboro boys even touched her or the other white female. The jury, even though they still found the defendants guilty, but they set aside the verdict and granted a new trial. The judge was replaced and the case was retried. The judge frequently against the defense. For the third time, now with the African American member having been returned guilty, the case was sent to the U.S. Supreme Court. It was ruled that the African Americans needed to be on trials because this was seen as fair. Charges were finally dropped for 4 of the 9 defendants. The other 5 were convicted and received sentences ranging from 75 years to death. 3 served prison sentences. This case stands as a stark example of racial prejudice within the American legal system during the early 20th century, because the evidence against the boys were flimsy at best. The medical examination of the cruisers showed no signs of rape, and the stories changed multiple times during the trial. Yet the Scottsboro boys were denied adequate representation and faced a justice system that inherently was biased against them due to their race. Now let's consider the Scottsboro case in the context of the detective story, particulars and murders in American literature. Edgar Allan Poe's detective story, such as The Murders in Rue Morgue and The History of Marie Roget, laid the groundwork for the genre with their focus on uncovering truth and solving mysteries. Just as Edgar Allan Poe's detective stories sought to uncover truth and solve mysteries, the defense efforts in the Scottsboro case can be seen as a quest for justice and truth. However, unlike the near resolutions of the detective fiction, the Scottsboro case ended in continued injustice and a prolonged struggle for the boys' exoneration. In the Scottsboro case, we see a similar quest for justice and truth. Defense attorneys like Samuel Leibowitz and future Supreme Court Judge Hugo Black worked tirelessly to expose the flaws in the prosecution's case and to secure a fair trial for the boys. Despite these efforts, however, the boys faced insurmountable odds in the legal system that was stacked against them. The Scottsboro case highlights the gap between the idealized pursuit of justice in the detective film and the harsh realities of America's criminal justice system, particularly for marginalized communities. Now let's examine the Scottsboro case through the lens of the film noir, a genre for its dark, gritty narratives and morally ambiguous characters. Films like The Maltese Falcon and Double Indemnity depict protagonists navigating through coarse concepts, through corrupt systems, and struggling to find justice in a world filled with deceit and betrayal, where justice is elusive. The Scottsboro boy found themselves in a similar situation, trapped in a web of prejudice and false accusations. Their stories embody the themes of injustice and systemic corruption, that are central to the film noir as they fought against a legal system that seemed determined to see them convicted regardless of the truth. The Scottsboro Boys serves as a powerful reminder of the deep-seated racial injustice that plagued American society. Through exploring this case within the context of the detective fiction film noir, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of race, justice, and storytelling in America's past and present. As we continue to grapple with these themes and their implications for our society, it's essential to confront the injustices of the past and work towards a future where everyone is truly equal under the law. The story of the Scottsboro Boys remind us that the fight for justice is ongoing, and it's up to each of us to ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. So thank you for joining me today for your presentation.